tropical palm-lined beaches and warm Atlantic waters, sleek yachts, and casual elegance of lifestyle, all combine to make Fort Lauderdale one of the most desirable places to hold the year-end Bud Light International GrandPrix powerboat Run for the Championship. Hi everybody, I'm Perry Jones. And for the next half hour, I will walk you through one of the most remarkable seasons in international outboard GrandPrix history. Against all odds, each Formula One champ boat driver will have a dogfight on his hands to determine who will be the 1991 International Outboard GrandPrix champion and fulfill a dream that only seasons of hopes and determination can fulfill.
Welcome to the 1991 Bud Light International Outboard GrandPrix Powerboat Racing Series, brought to you by Mercury. At Mercury, we're driven to win. And by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light.
The Gold Coast is known for its miles of unending beaches. But parallel to the ocean flows a slender but picturesque canal, the Intercoastal Waterway. With its 185 miles of navigable waterways, now you know why Fort Lauderdale has earned the title Venice of America. So it's no wonder that this site was chosen to be the backdrop and the race course that will determine the outcome of the 1991 Points Championship. With just 1 week to the countdown of the Grand Finale, each Formula One champ boat driver prepares for his run for the championship. And with a season of competitive challenges, no one has really emerged as the dominant force in capturing a healthy points lead. It was just last year that Scott Gilman and Bill Seabold battled all the way to the Sunshine State, tied for the lead, dead even in points. Billed as a showdown of youth against experience, and Scott Gilman, who took the overall 1990 title, not with the first place win, finishing second as Bill Seabold suffered through some mechanical failures. But Formula One boat racing is not who you are, how you stay consistent. 6 races have produced 5 winning faces. This is racing. Before you can focus on the points leader, standings can change in the blink of an eye. As Craig Wint, champ boat driver for Wint Racing, who sits in the most comfortable seat on the circuit, leading in points needs to finish strong to claim the 1991 IOGP Championship. But it hasn't been all roses for this driver, as 1990 almost forced him into leaving racing altogether.
They're a handful, that's all I can say. Is I thought I could get in the boat and just drive it and beat everybody, and there's just no way. It takes a lot of years of preparation and driving skills.
1990, what can be claimed as nowhere to run and nowhere to hide for the old Quaker Paint racing team. Craig Wint, talented driver, feeling the pressures of winless seasons and barely making it on the circuit, started doubting his abilities in competition. And as the season came to a close, disaster struck in Los Angeles as his boat tore apart, leaving only more doubt to contend with on the off-season. But 1991 has given the Wint racing team more to smile about, with the emergence of this man, Don Johnston, a world-class driver in himself, joining Craig as his crew chief.
Actually, I think Craig's real relaxed. He has been all the time. He's got that kind of temperament that keeps him relaxed. We just came down here and basically we're trying to do this race just as if we would do any other race. We're not even worrying about the championship. Of course, it's in the back of our mind, but we're trying to just approach this as it's another race and to finish as well as we can at this race, and if that's enough for us to win the championship, then that's fine, but that's how we usually approach things.
With consistency as his main companion this season, Craig finally put it all together in St. Louis by beating the field and taking the checkered flag as well as the points lead into Fort Lauderdale.
Got a lot of friends in this race. They're all pulling for you, but I have to tell you, none of them, they're really committed to winning.
They are. It's a tough group out there, and nobody's going to let you go by them, that's for sure. Everybody's good friends, but they're all out to win.
And your turnaround point, safe to say, happened in St. Louis. Is that right?
Yeah, it did. I believe we were in second place in points before that, and we just snuck off a win, and it just put us right to the top. So we've got 1 race to go, so hope we can hold on to it.
Are you ready for this race?
Yeah, we are. The boat's dialed in, ready to go, so we're just sitting back waiting for the race.
Run for the Championship will return with a season of hopes and dreams.
Georgia, 1991 was the launching point for the IOGP circuit, viewed as the making and breaking point of how a season will start and end. It appeared Mike Seabold had all the tools to claim his position as the #1 man to contend with, as he proudly waved the checkered flag from River Race Augusta. But 2 weeks later in Portland, Oregon, running hard between Steve D'Souza and tangling with Scott Gilman, Mike lost a gear case, leaving him helpless in the water that would eventually bring more bad luck in Bay City, as he was cut off in turn 3, leaving him upside down and limping into FtLauderdale.
Do you feel, since this season was a pretty tough one for you, that you're a little more conservative than what you used to be?
I believe so. I don't know. I started off the year really driving hard and really trying hard, and it started taking taking a toll on the equipment, and then I started backing off a little bit, just trying to be there at the end, and that doesn't seem to work. You gotta just go out there and run the equipment. If it's your day to win, you're going to win.
Right. How do you feel you're going to race this course now, any differently than any other races?
I'm just going to go out there and push it as hard as I can and just try to stay clear of the traffic, because it's going to be real tight here. It's going to be, I think there's going to be a lot of boat bumping going on, and I don't want to knock a hole in my boat, because I don't want to sink it, of course. But I think the main thing here is just surviving, because it's going to be tough, and everybody's going to be pushing extremely hard, because they all want to end up in the points way up there. And I see it every year. It's always the first and last race when everybody comes out in the first race, and you have more accidents in those races and in the last one than you do the rest of them, because everybody tries so hard. So I think just staying out of everybody's way and having a good run, I think you can do real well.
Let's say Felix obviously is ahead of you, and also your friend Craig. Let's say you're in the lead, and you have Felix and Craig behind you. Would you move out of the way to help them out?
No, I'm here to win. I'm here to win the race. If they finish behind me, they'll still win the championship, but no.
You're not that good of a friend.
I'm a good friend, but no, if I'm out in front, I'm going to stay that way.
No, 77 Gilman has got it loose out on the race course. He has set it right up on his tail.
With River Race Augusta behind number 77 Scott Gilman, the 1990 defending high points champion, it looked dismal for the Chip and Pepper racing team, as Scott failed to make a good showing in the season opener, and by qualifying time in Portland, Oregon, looked much the same for this young man from California. But as the white flag dropped, Gilman showed his true colors, why he was last year's reigning champion by starting last from the dock.
Gilman now, for the first time today, has gone into the lead, and this will give him a chance to try to move away from the crowd.
As Scott Gilman took the checkered flag, it looked like the sun would shine brightly on number 77, but Bay City was more than generous to Scott Gilman. As number 77 commanded a 16-second lead over the field, Scott Gilman relaxed going into turns 3 and 4, and stuffed the nose of his black Chip and Pepper boat into the Saginaw River. Ended not only the Bay City River boat race, but what would eventually set the tone for the entire season.
This season, should we talk about this season? It's been difficult for you. Last year you were the premier driver in the circuit. What happened this season, do you think?
This season it's been good and bad for us. We've been running probably I feel the fastest boat out there, but we haven't been able to finish a lot of races. The only 2 races we finished, we've won, but it's been tough on motors this year for us.
How is this course different than the other cities that you've been in? You're going to do it any differently, drive it any differently than you would, say, Bay City or St. Louis?
It's pretty close to a Bay City type course. It might be a little shorter, though, but it'll be real rough because of the seawalls and stuff. But we'll drive it hard. We drove hard all year and tried to run up front all year, which we did, but we ended up braking quite a few times. But no, we'll come out to try and win this race here, because we don't have anything to lose in the points race, and we don't have to be conservative and worry about it. And we didn't take much of a conservative approach this year. We tried to go out and win every race, and we ended up breaking in a few races, but we're just going to go out and run hard and see what we can do.
But what makes a champion? And where do the skills to handle these high-class racing machines come from? Well, when you look at this part boat, part airplane, it literally gives you the feeling that these space-age vehicles are only a fingertip away from total disaster.
Now, be easy on me, Bill. Be easy on me. How fast are we going to go?
Well, we're going to go about 105. This is a pretty tight race course out here, though. There's a couple spots that you run real close to some obstacles.
Right.
Down the back stretch, there's an iron piling that sticks out. We'll try to avoid that.
Please. Please.
Okay.
Now we're coming into the finish line. What's it like when that checker flag goes down?
Well, I think the first minute and a half, the driver's just screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
And after it settles in and you go on, it's just it's pure enjoyment. There's nothing in the world like that feeling. You know that you've gone out that particular day and done the best of what you've been trying to do. So I think that's great gratification. It's like winning any kind of sport. It's a personal triumph that I don't think can ever be replaced in the adrenaline of life.
The endorphins are definitely up. You've got to be really calculating.
Yes, you do. You know, you're always you're usually racing the race the next lap, not the lap you're on. So you're in your mind, you're going over the race the next lap because you're planning your move on the man in front of you, or if you're in the lead, you're still planning your move on the next lap. Like I said, most of these drivers are a little nuts.
Yeah, I was going to say. You heard it directly from the father of powerboat racing. Have to be a little nuts news, but this was great.
When we come back, what it's like living with a legend.
As the Bud Light International Outboard Grand Prix circuit traveled to Canada, Winnipeg proved to be more than just an international stop, as each driver trying to gain any competitive edge on the race course battled each other for 50 laps. As the race grew closer to the end, Steve D'Souza of Interstate Batteries finally caught up with Scott Gilman, number 77. But on the 49th lap, it was the aggressive driving of number 94, Steve D'Souza, that won out. Finally, he passed Scott Gilman for his first win of the 1991 season. Although that flag was awarded to D'Souza, the officials view the pass down the backstretch as more than just aggressive driving and assessed a disqualification to number 94 with the infraction rule of bearing away, leaving the winner of the Players Powerboat Championship race, Steve D'Souza of Interstate Batteries, in dismay.
I'm going to bring up a subject that's probably been on your mind a lot, and that's about what happened in Winnipeg, disqualification. What have been your feelings on it? You've had some time to feel about it and to work it over. What are you coming out of right now, preparing for the championship race?
Well, you know, I'm just trying to keep probably my personal opinion. I'm trying not to let it interfere with my professional opinion.
Right.
And in doing so, I've just, we've, Interstate Batteries and myself have discussed it, to what level we want to pursue it. You know, without question, and from the very beginning, we think we were totally wronged. We don't agree with it. And it hurt us in the championship run. However, you know, ultimately my responsibility is to Interstate Batteries, and they felt that as long as a situation like this doesn't happen to another driver,
Right.
The way that this one has occurred, then we'll pursue from where we are now and just continue on.
What do you feel like you'll have to do to take the championship?
Well, we need to win, and we need to, you know, we haven't even really looked at the overall points battle to find out where everybody else even has to place. From the standpoint of the race course, this is traditionally a rough race course, and that probably, in the points battle aspect that probably is going to lend favor to me because I feel there's probably 4 drivers here that can compete well, in my opinion, in rough water, and that's Bill and Mike Seabold, probably Ben Robertson, and myself. And other than that, I think Felix is relatively new, doesn't really know what to do in rough water, I don't think. And I know Craig doesn't prefer rough water at all in any race, and probably is a little bit leery on how far he can push the boat. And I think the Seabolds, Robertson, and myself have all raced in Europe, and that's extremely rough. And if you have that kind of experience behind you, that can really, really be a benefit when you come to a race course like this.
Today, more than ever, we have the opportunity to talk with legends in sports. And International Powerboat Grand Prix Racing is no exception, with its own legend in Bill Seabold. Considered the winningest powerboat driver in history, it gave me an opportunity to talk not just with him, but the one very important person behind this driving force for the BUDLIGHT racing team.
I married Billy, and that was it. Well, in fact, we won our first boat race together on the Mississippi River. He asked me to ride in his boat. It was a audience participation, and I said, okay, I'll go with you, and we won the race. I just held on. I loved it. I've always been involved. Even when we raced Europe, I was always involved. You know, we sent the truck over, we went over together, we came back, you know, and it's, for a marriage like this especially, you should stay involved. The whole family should, you know, be there. I mean, because it's too many weekends apart. Okay?
What sustains you?
They're good. They know what they're doing. They have enough time in a boat that I don't see them making any mistakes. They don't take chances that they don't, you know, have to take, you know. And I have a lot of faith, you know. They're going to be all right. Michael was the only one hurt, and that was that was a freak accident. No, that was 8 years ago. That was our worst accident, I guess. But Timmy had the accident in St. Louis. That scared me to death.
Really?
But he's so lucky. He's tough. He's really tough. My husband's taught me a lot. He's taught me a lot about patience and being domineering,
Right.
which I have a tendency to be.
But it's worked for you, right?
Yeah, it has. In fact, he doesn't mind it. He'd rather have me take care of these things because he likes simple things. He likes to enjoy his family. He likes to boat race. And, I don't know, he's different. There'll never be anyone like him, I'll tell you that.
When we return, is consistency the key to a winning season?
Pittsburgh, labeled as the roughest race course on the circuit, proved to be the right type of river for Rick Adamczyk of Don Q Crystal Racing to stake his claim at the run for the championship. With consistency on his side, Rick seemed to be the quiet one on the race course, always finishing in 3rd or 4th and allowing everyone to battle each other on each race course. Adamczyk stayed within striking distance, then pushed hard on the last 10 laps to keep himself within the top 5 in point standing. But Pittsburgh would finally put the glory flag where he hoped one day it would land, right in the cockpit of number 5.
You are 4th in points, right before Fort Lauderdale. What's it going to take for you to take the championship?
A little bit of luck. Have the run good. Place high up in the top 3, and hopefully Craig went and Felix go back a little bit in the attack. It'll take a little bit of luck.
How expensive is something like this, a sport like this, just to give our viewers an idea?
In the hundreds of thousands of dollars, actually. It goes up pretty high.
The rigs are pretty amazing, too.
You have to maintain them and keep the motors together, build everything, truck, traveling. It's very high.
Is it more expensive to do it full-time like you're doing it than what some of these other guys are doing?
Yeah, I would say so, but I had to do it full-time because there was no time left to make a normal living. I mean, there was so much time spent on the boats that's what I just changed over to.
Fort Lauderdale is the stopping point of the season. And with just 1 week away, Formula One champ drivers keep testing to bring home the treasure that racing brings, the checkered flag. But it takes a bigger commitment from a solid team to keep these drivers on the winning track.
There are 2 basic ways to deliver gasoline to an outboard engine. Many Mercury outboards use the traditional carburetors. They're time-proven, reliable technology and are very cost-effective. In the high-performance arena, whether it's high-performance pleasure boating, bass boats, or the Formula One champ boats, the EFI, or electronic fuel injection, is the preferred system.
There are several reasons why racers choose Mercury's electronic fuel injection system for their high-performance needs. The most obvious advantage of electronic fuel injection is a noticeable increase in horsepower. Because of its high-tech mechanisms, EFI also provides a more consistent fuel-air ratio to the engine, resulting in more consistent and usable power. Finally, EFI automatically compensates for weather and altitude changes.
It can handle almost anything you throw at it. That's why the top-of-the-line Mercury and Mariner 200 horsepower outboards are equipped with a derivative of Mercury's racing EFI system.
A devoted family man, Felix takes pride in who he is and where he's going. With his point standings coming into Fort Lauderdale, he has the best chance to take the International Points Championship next week. Considered a nemesis on the race course, number 88 has done things in 1991 that no tunnel boat driver has done to this day. Won 2 different classes the same weekend. It was Bay City and the push to become the best of the best that sets Felix Sorales a little stronger than some of the newer champ boat drivers on the circuit today. A strong showing on the SST 140 class, Felix keeps the pressure on himself and delivers the message to anyone he challenges on the race course. But with every driver, there's always someone behind the scenes that keeps number 88 on a winning track.
We worked so hard to get anything that that was a plus. We knew that way you know you can do it. There's no doubt. Winning gives you confidence.
As Felix Sorales makes his push for the title, the week's testing activity may be too much.
It's going to be tough. Craig's a real good driver, and I'm going to try real hard to stay in front of him. We'll see how the time trials go. If I can get ahead of him in the time trials and start in a good position, I should be able to stay up there because the course seems to be pretty tough to pass. It's real narrow plus real rough. It's going to be really interesting. Well, I'm going to try real hard. I'll probably run a little harder than I would normally would, but I think everybody would do the same if they're in my position.
With the title on the line, who will face the toughest road to the national title?
Countdown to a national title takes a team effort. And without each of the top teams preparing his driver to step up to take the challenge, the road to the title is never an easy one. Can Craig Wendt mentally handle the pressure? Or is Felix Sorales trying to capture too much in one season? Or has Steve D'Souza become a serious threat to take the title in spite of not lending a checkered flag all season? Or could it be the quiet one, Rick Adamczyk, number 5, that captures first place and lays his claim to what is already a banner year? With the Bud Light International Outboard GrandPrix National Points title up for grabs, there's no clear favorite. Is just winning the Bell South Mobility more than enough, or is the title on everyone's mind?